Hi everyone, welcome to episode 16 of the Neikazuki Knits podcast. My name is Katie and I'm coming to you from sunny but a little bit chilly Cochrane, Alberta. Today, for any new viewers, it's going to be a little bit different episode because I'm currently in prep for Knit City in Vancouver next weekend. And so everything is really light on the knitting, there's absolutely no spinning, there's no finished objects, and I haven't even read for about 2.5 weeks. And we're gonna have a special guest because my husband's actually in the room. Usually I don't record when he's home because it's super awkward having him staring at me across the room. So when you want to come on?
I don't know.
Okay, well, I'll get him to hand me stuff when we actually start the update for what I'm bringing to Knit City, and then he can come on and say hi. Or you can come on and say hi right now. So this is Dallas.
Hello.
And we got married last July. We've been together 6.5 years now. So, yeah. Okay, so there's a little bit of knitting. Most of what I've knitted on has been something I can't show you, unfortunately. But I have worked on socks. And this is a yarn that I will link in the show notes on Ravelry. It's a German yarn. That's what I remember, and it's a 75 wool, 25% nylon, and these will be for Dallas. So the foot's nearly done, and then there's going to be patterning on the cuff, which I will be designing. These will be released sometime probably in December, just because I'm crazy right up until the first week of November. And that's all I've been working on. I finished Queen of Shadows by Sarah J. Maas. Definitely older teen book, but it was really good. This series got really good after book 3. Well, book 3 and forward, and this is only 4. So get through the first 2 books if you're kind of net on them. But I would definitely suggest that it's 15 and up. But very enjoyable, and I was really lucky and got a signed copy of that. 2 weeks ago? Yes, 2 weeks ago we actually headed out to Kelowna, which was a really good trip. We went out and camped for a couple of days, and of course Art of Yarn is in Kelowna. So I had to go shopping, and one of the things I got was the Madeline Tosh in the black velvet. Just Tosh Merino Lights, 100% superwash merino wool. And because I've been wanting to make the Renfrew hat by Jane Richmond, I've had this book since last July, and that's the one pattern that I've really been wanting to make. So what's suggested is actually the worsted weight, but this I can hold double, and then it will make the worsted weight, or close enough that I can adjust a little bit on the gauge or the needle size. Also, I have a massive head, so I have to actually adjust up. It's about 5 inches. The hat size is 5 inches too small for my head, so that'll be adjustment later. And really, because there's so much other stuff to show you, I'm not going to do the rest of what I got. There'll be a lot from Knit City too, so I'll let you all know that after. So yeah, that is pretty much everything. Kelowna was really good. It was really warm. It was still summer weather, and it was really busy. I've been telling Dallas for the week before that we didn't have to worry about reservations. It wasn't going to be busy. There was just going to be seniors and a few other people traveling. Nope. The first campground we went into, both of these campgrounds had 75 to 85 sites. First one only had half a dozen sites available. The second one probably had about a dozen, but like half of that dozen for tent sites were concrete, and then down a few stairs into this grassy area that you weren't supposed to camp on the grass, but the gravel pad was really close to the fire pit, so we found a spot, and it was a gorgeous campground, but a lot busier than I was anticipating. So, and especially with the experience in that field, because usually with tourist season it drops off after Labor Day in Canada. Okay, I'm gonna start from small to big. Dallas is going to hand me stuff. He's waiting here anxiously. And the one thing we will start with, so that if you A, aren't going to Knit City, or B, aren't interested in what I'm bringing, you can see this, and then I'll talk to you in a couple weeks. This is a super short podcast for y'all. That was further than I anticipated. Okay, So there's going to be very special boxes at my booth. And what's happening is this is going to be a collaboration with Yarn Ink. And what it actually is once you open it, inside, it's going to be wrapped a little bit nicer. I just haven't actually processed it yet. There's going to be a bag and 2 cakes of yarn from Yarn Ink so that you can make the super secret cowl that you haven't seen yet because I just finished it, of this. So what ends up happening is it's 2 gradient skeins. They're both in the same colorway. You take one end and work them in a colorwork cowl. All stranded, all in the round, everything's written up, and it'll be out of, yeah, the 2 skeins of worsted. And then along in the kit, you're going to also get a nice box bag, and it opens. This is the same small size as all my regular box bags, but it's all hand-dyed batik from Indonesia, lined with a high-quality quilting cotton. And then you get a zipper pull, which will also come off. It's on a lobster clasp, like this. And then what you can do when you're actually knitting is you can hook it onto your knitting for your Star of Year Round. So everything matches too, it's all snowflakes. I'm not sure of the colors yet. I know that the mint's going to be there. I think Alicia is also working on a dark blue, but we're getting everything sorted out so that we'll have them available. They will be a little bit more expensive kit, but you can see that at the show. The pattern and the stitch marker aren't any extra charge. The pattern will normally be $5, so that will be included in the kit. And for now, these are exclusive to the shows, so you can't get them on a site or anything like that. Obviously, you can get the yarn and the pattern separately, but you won't be able to get the bag. And I haven't decided on the exclusivity period for that yet, but it will probably be at least 6 months to a year, depending on how fast these sell too. So hopefully you all like that. Again, just look for the little gable boxes. Oh, and so that's the other thing. This show runs October 3rd and 4th. It's at the Peony Forum in Vancouver. And the hours of the show are 9 to 5. You can park on site, and entrance is, I'm going to say $10 for both days. And you can get all the details on knitsocial.ca, which I will link in the comment section below for the YouTube video, and it will also be on the Ravelry show notes so that you can actually go in and check everything out. There's 52 vendors. There's a lot of people that are going to be there, lots of indie dyers, and all the reports are that it's actually a really awesome show. And it's not just vendors, obviously. There's some class spaces left, and there's demos as well in the actual P&E forum. So you get all of that. There's half a dozen food trucks outside. There's local yarn shops I know just down the road. So hopefully we'll see you there. Now, if that's all you're interested in, I will talk to you in a couple weeks and I'll show you all the rest. So, along with obviously that pattern, there will be all my other patterns will be available as print form. I'm also including Ravelry download codes with each of the print patterns, and then if you would like, instead of a print pattern, you can just purchase the code from me directly that day, and you can download it into your Ravelry library. I figured that was the best way to kind of go for both, and everything will be displayed, so you can even, I'm adding QR codes to display items, so you can add it to your queue if you don't want to commit to a pattern purchase right away. So if you haven't seen any of these patterns, most of these have been mentioned on the podcast, but just in case you're new, the first one is the Shaker Rib Mittens. These are sized for women's small medium, which is 7-inch palm right around the thumb, and a 9-inch right around the palm of the thumb. And they do work up large. They aren't -40 mittens because they're very loose gauge. But they're nice for like this transitional period from September, November, before you get the big wind chills. The other one, this is also from Yarn Ink. This is for 1 skein of her bulky, and it's a somewhat slouchy slip stitch cowl. You'd think I would know my own pattern names. But basically it's just 1 skein, super simple, and it's actually really nice. I made 2 of these last year because I lost my first one. But super comfy. This is my first pattern, the Confederation Park cross stitch top. This is a top down raglan. t-shirt. Obviously it's got short sleeves, and it's just got a nice detail around the yoke right here. And that is sized for 34 to 52 inches. Then there's the quilted spring fingerless mittens. And sorry, I should have actually taken these out of the page protectors. You can see all of these photos on Ravelry as well. And it's just a really simple little quilt pattern across the palm, picot bind off, short thumb. Again, really good for those transition days, especially if you're in a warmer climate than Calgary and Cochrane. And actually all of these smaller items will have their samples out at the show as well. Then this is just a recent one. The Cadence cardigan, top-down raglan baby cardigan for 6 to 24 months. This is out of Sweet Georgia Yarns Merino Silk Aran, and actually Sweet Georgia, why I mention it, will be at the show, so you'll be able to pick up that, not that yarn. That yarn's discontinued. I've designed too much with discontinued yarn, but you'll be able to pick up a similar content and sizing. Then finally, this is the last new one that'll be coming to the show. It's the collared petal cape, and this is the one I was working out of the Malabrigo Rasta. And what ends up happening is it's short row panels, and you end up with a panel over your arm, a longer one in the back, and then a panel over your other arm, and then it's more open in the front. This works up to 54 inches, so quite a bit of generous ease so that you can actually wear it. It's a really nice outer piece because of the thick Rasta yarn, which is 100% merino, and it works up at the gauge is 8 stitches per 4 inches, so you've got 2 stitches per inch, which works up super fast. Even designing it, I only took about 4 days and then like 15 minutes to do the collar. So yeah, the cats are confused right now because there's stuff all over the floor, and I just put patterns on the floor, and one cat's like, what the heck? I am going to kill you in your sleep for that disturbance. Okay. Okay, we'll start with wedge bags because they're kind of in the way of everything else. So small wedge bags. Now what ends up happening with these all hold, where's my project? These all hold at least 1 skein of sock yarn, unless I tell you otherwise. And as you can see, there's quite a bit of room in there. I've been using mine regularly for about 2 years, and I'm only just barely starting to show wear, which is really nice. They're all machine washable. And obviously there's my Project 2 at a time socks, and I hook mine to my purse or my belt loop or whatever with a beaner. So the loops on them are a little bit smaller, just so that you're able to open and close them really easily. This one's a little bit longer because it's a thinner ribbon. And also they're all lined with similar or coordinating fabrics, and there's no raw seams in any of these. They're all finished so that you don't have anything to unravel into your project, because I track sewing thread all over the house, and having that in your project is not fun. Okay, now I'm not going to show you anything that I've already posted on the Etsy store or I've shown on the podcast, and so these are all new. You might have seen the prints before, but they're all new. Disney Toy Story, this is small wedge. Large wedge Mickey. Large wedge Chip and Dale. Another Mickey. I'm not a Disney fan. And finally, now I don't know the numbers on these, this is just why I'm telling you just Mickeys right now. Lots of these are duplicates. I'm pretty sure most of these have 2. But I don't know off the top of my head, so that's why they're just here. Okay, and then a new introduction is actually canvas, and these are 2-tone bags. Obviously you can see that they're opposites of each other. Again, same finishing, all lined on the inside, everything like that, but they are a heavier weight. But I did still interface them just so you have a little bit, like, they stand up better and they feel better. Even though they're heavier weight, it's not a lot heavier than the quilter's cotton, to be honest, except for I like it on the bottom. Fairy Tales. I love this one because you get Beauty and the Beast on one side and Rapunzel on the right side on the other, and Fairy Tales on the right side too, and in general. This is Japanese cotton linen blend. So most of these are 100% cotton. unless they'll look very similar to this one, the cotton linen blends. Oh, machine washable still though. Cats, and this one sparkles. Halloween bags, there's 2 of these, just with different zipper colors. I'm really proud with how these ones came out because they actually, well, one side matches for sure. More canvas bags, there's 2 of the small wedge. A little bit bolder instead of cutesy print, which I know I've been having a lot of suggestions for. I'm also trying to add a few more simple bags, hence the other canvas. Another large. 2 large white and black. These are larger than small and smaller than large.
One might even say medium.
Yeah, they're more of a medium size. These will be better for those not quite sweater projects or the larger shawls. I'm pretty sure I cut those as large bags, but they turned out to be medium. He's the worst peanut gallery than the cats. Scotties, I went a little bit crazy. There are 3 of the small Scotty bags. Oh, 4, never mind. And a large. So this is good winter print if you don't want Christmassy, but you want the snowflakes. Pugs. These are naughty pugs too, if you look right there. Terrible. This, I really like this fabric. So it's basically Victorian ladies. And the ghosts are really cool because they're opaque and they shine a bit. That's a large wedge bag. There's Pugs on Vacation. These ones aren't quite as naughty. So, nope, there. He's flying a kite, which is super cute. There's this, again, small selection of Halloween bags. Pumpkin Kings, small and large. Now, I did not run the directional print this way. It is this way, so when you're actually, like, if you've got it tilted on your bag, they'll be upright. Canadian provinces, camping throughout them. There's Alberta. And this side has BC. I think most of these actually have all provinces and the territories. I did try to do that. For tatters and crocheters, a little bit different print since I do have a lot of knitting bags. This one's got bright pink poles because I couldn't actually decide on the color, and then a nice pink lining. Trains, 2 large bags. This is directional, so I made sure that it's going the right way. Unlike some other times when I sew them and then have to redo the zippers. And then I went a bit crazy with the cowboy fabric, so I'm only going to show you one small bag. And then the pull tabs are cowboy boots. It is so hard to find good cowboy fabric that I had to pick this up when I saw it. Which you wouldn't think would happen in Alberta, but apparently it does. There's a large wedge bag as well. Lots of these prints you will see it again because I have them in box bags, but I do want to show you the different shapes. Small wedge. Now this one, there are going to be a couple different ones, and what ends up happening is basically all it is the color of the pull tab and the color of the zipper are different. So there's 2 yellow and there's a pink. With a pink pull tab. And then large as well in the pink zipper, and there's 2 of them. And then there are all the black cat bags. Okay, so the small wedge, black cat with roses. There's a little bit of sparkle in these guys. I have that one also in gray. So there's teal, gray, and beige. And there will be similar ones like that in box bags with pink. Beige. Sorry, there we go. To the bottom of that pile. This one's a pink doily with a black cat. and a beige doily with black cat. These are even more special for me now because we do have our itty bitty black cat, and that's what those remind me of. Large wedge. And why I'm going to show you these is these guys have, instead of the aqua pull tabs, they've got a sparkle pull tab. Large, which you saw already. Large gray, there's two of them. Obviously there's two pull tabs there. I try to stack my wedge bags neatly so they don't wrinkle too much and so that they stack conveniently. Beige, large. And then there's going to be two pink doily large. This fabric was really popular a couple years ago, so I made sure to stock up, and now I've got lots to bring to you guys. Beige doily. And now we get into the sheep. The sheep are fun. I love these sheep. So now, yeah, so all those black cat ones are from Japan. These guys are from Japan too. Nice bright sheep. Small wedge. There's multiples of those. There's currently 4 in my hands. And then there's 2 large. And this isn't lightweight cotton either. This is actually a heavier, almost canvas weight. Same as these guys. They're very bright. Nice red zipper to pull out the reds in the sheep too. We're getting there. I'm almost through all the wedge bags. Sushi with orange zipper and orange pulls. And then there's also sushi with yellow pulls, white zippers. And there's multiples of the orange. And then there's large bags as well. I am nearly out of this fabric, so if you want one, I would say get one because I can't actually purchase anymore, which makes me super sad because it's so cute. So cute. Okay. And then that guy goes there. Now this is the other cool one that's a little bit different because I haven't done a lot of batik bags, but I will have a selection. This is for sure from Indonesia because I actually ordered it through my friend's mom when I ordered batik fabrics for our table runners for our wedding. So this is also in short supply, but I did make sure to have a selection. I have quite a few small box bags. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 4. And the cool thing about this is because it was different. So there's what most of them look like. They have all the patches here, but then some of them have this really large like edge patch of curlicues. So a little bit busy, but a little bit more like darker masculine colors than a lot of my bags. And there'll be large ones. See? Yeah, I really like the curlicues in that one. You don't get any of my wedding runner fabric because that's going into a quilt later, but you will get that one. Small wedge bags again in that Victorian lady print. These will be floofed out correctly so you don't have to worry about all the wrinkles. And a large version of that one. And there's kimono girls. North American interpretation of kimono girls. Large wedge bags. There's a small version of the sheep and another large one. I tried to group these so I didn't have to keep showing you different prints, but it didn't quite work. There'll be large pugs, naughty pugs again. And then we're gonna do another fairy tale. This one has more of the other people on it, so they've got Snow White and Wonderland. And I'll stop flipping it back and forth. There's Pinocchio though too, which is super cute. And then there's a large version of that one. And then Vacationing Kitties, and this one's super cute too. Surfboards, luau girls. Yep. That's that one. Now we're gonna go into needle rolls, which is a new product. And then all the stuff underneath the needle rolls. Okay, so these are going to be termed sushi rolls. So if you're looking for them, that's what they are. And what ends up happening is it's a big chunk of fabric here. And the needle rolls, for some of you who don't use them necessarily, they're all for the double points and straight needles and everything like that. I've made pockets big enough so that you can put some notions. So like closed stitch markers there, needle gauge, and I did have a ruler in here earlier, but I had to take it out because I had to use it. These are also good for crochet hooks and pens, actually. So if you have a kiddo who has a lot of like coloring pencils and stuff, this is actually really good for them too. Okay, and there's a big basket of them. So, black cats with doilies again. Because the thing I was finding is a lot of these prints are really, for the needle rolls that you get in the stores, are a little bit dowdy. So, just trying to get a few bright things because they're very useful. More floral, and they do all have coordinating buttons so that you don't have, like, they match a bit, and elastic so that they can expand quite a bit so that you don't have to worry about how much you actually put into the roll. Sparkly butterflies. Or butterflies. There are duplicates of this one, but they will have different interiors, so definitely take a look if you're interested, but don't quite like the first interior. It's a sushi roll, sushi roll. Butterflies. Coordinating blue button. The sheep. This is one of my favorite with that button, and it's got the bright polka dot interiors. They all have the stopper up top. I try to coordinate either with the background fabric or with the actual fabric when I cut it, and then the pockets are coordinating. And this one I'm super proud of. There's 2 of these because all my lines go between the sheets, so you don't have cut off sheep for your top of your pocket. And then there's poppies. These ones are super bright interiors as well. Yarn balls. This is, yeah, I find these really good. This one doesn't have interfacing, just in case you don't like it, but it does have a flannel inside because using up some of these pieces that I collected, these are some deep stash. You never know, because I don't really like the flannel bag, like for the bags. I like it in other stuff. I'm always worried that my yarn's going to catch on it and stuff. More sparkly butterflies, so that's a duplicate. And then this is a little, it's a bright, but it's a simple dandelion pattern. Poinsettias, I would assume. No, not quite. I'm not sure what those are, but they're nice and bright and they're pink. I like this one because it has, when you see it in person, you'll see it, but it's got a little bit more sheen to it. And yes, all these poppy ones came with that crazy pink one. I don't know how they coordinated them, but sure. Cats. Meowed retro. That's usually what I call this print. And they've got a tortoiseshell button. And then there's this one with the flower button. Red cats with tamari. The tamari are the balls. Those are thread balls from Japan. Look them up. They're really cool. Or I'll find a picture for you. Pink cats with tamari. And then we have puppy dogs. Okay, and then I did do some flat pack notions pouches because I'm running out of time and they're a little bit easier. And I know some people don't like the wedge that I usually do. So the wedge that I normally do, these are a little bit smaller, but they are just like my small knitting wedge bags. Yeah, these ones are definitely taller. But there's knitting stitch ones to match the other knitting stitch bags. More Halloween ones. And one side is this, one side is this.
I like those.
Pumpkins. I like these ones too. I really like this one. It's really hard to sell that one. I made sure it placed correctly. And there's another one of that one with more flowers on it, depending on what you prefer. Pins. knitting, you've seen that one. And then these guys are both wedge as well. Those are the rest of the sheep. Okay, and then there's a whole basket of needle stashers, and there's too many of them to show you, so I'm just going to kind of show you the basket without my tag. Bunch of prints. And then, so finally we have the rest of the needle stashes, which are all blue, and there's going to be 32 total, so there's 4 of each of these prints. Paisley, dark blue with mod, I guess, Western Paisley, blue giraffe, blue roses, swirls. That one's really light apparently. There we go. Fancy Paisley. And blue sakura or cherry blossoms. And some of these have the pearl buttons on the outside with the middle plain one. And you can look at all of them there. They'll all be on the shelf. Okay, so then now we're going to go into box bags. There's large box bags and there's small box bags. Sheep, now what happens is a lot of these handles, they're either coordinating with the fabric because I had enough, or they coordinate generally with the interior fabric. So I've done my best to actually coordinate it with the exterior fabric because it looks better. 2 of them. There are 2 black kitty on a teal background with roses. All the large box bags are large enough for a sweater up to 42 inches minimum with actual chunky yarn or air and weight. The large wedge bags for sure hold 2 skeins of caked or balled up Eco Plus wool, which is what I used for a sweater a while back, and it held the sweater, the wool, and including the sleeves and everything. Fairy tales. These are, I did try to directionally get the print right. This one's got a Pinocchio, if you like Pinocchio, so you can come choose. And this is what I mean about coordinating. I do make sure to try and get it, but I try to also then match it to the bag and the interior. And there's 2 of them. And then there's going to be 1, 2, there are 3 knit bags with pink zippers, yellow pull tabs, and again, the handle matches the interior, which is this pin fabric. And this knit fabric is really cool. It's really multicolored. Okay, and then we've got 2 of the pink black cat with roses, and 2 of the kimono girls, just like the large wedge bag, and they've got sparkle tabs. And then coordinating orange handle. And then this is one of those fabrics that the repeat's so big you actually do need to see it. There we go. If you're ever wondering if you can wash the bags and then do that, that's exactly what I would suggest doing. Pop your corners and then you can actually just put it out to dry. I'm bringing help for the Friday, and that's what we're going to be doing to a lot of these box bags, is floofing out the corners so you can see what they hold. This is another directional fabric you'll need to see. So it's DC Women, so it's actually Wonder Woman, Supergirl, and Batgirl's there too. Teal fabric, black ribbon pulls, coordinating handle. And there are 3 of those ones done for sure. I have 1 more, but the zipper went the wrong way. Okay, and then one-offs. There is red with geisha. And then currently there will only be 1 vacation cats. But at least it has a coordinating handle. And again, and bright interior so you can actually see your yarn as well, so you don't lose stuff into it. And then this one's actually got the snorkeling guy on it too. And then I think this is the last one off, which is the pink doily cat. Pink with doilies with black cat. And then there is 1 vacationing pugs. 2 large sushi. And actually there are more of those ones, but they are old stock, so they'll still be coming as well, so not too much worry. Camping in the Canadian provinces. It's kind of, those bags are kind of like I Spy bags, because you get geese and beavers and whales and all of the goodness. Victorian ladies in the trees, haunted. White handle on that one because that's what coordinates with the interior so that you can see your work. There are, well, there's actually 4 of them. 2 that coordinate with the exterior, 2 that coordinate with the interior, that's what it was. There are 2 cowboy bags. I love to see how these all turn out differently for the prints, for the sizes and everything. And then there are 2 sheep bags, coordinating handles. Okay, and then the final thing is all the small box bags. So there are 4 with polka dot handles because that's what coordinates with the interior. Two kimono girls, they have coordinating handles with the exterior, and I did try to make sure that each of these got at least 2 girls to show up. So there's a full girl there, there's a half girl there, and there's another one there. This one has the 2 on the front and the back. 2 small sushi for sure, and I know there's a couple other small sushi. 2 sheep bags, handles coordinated with the inside. 1, 2, 3, 4. Sorry, these ones are particularly packed. Rows, cats. Now these are what I'm terming my wee bags. They are a little bit smaller than my normal small bags. They will be accordingly priced because they take less fabric. And what ends up happening with them, still super cute, cats of Tamari, is they can only hold for sure 1 ball of 100-gram stock yarn. You can still fit your project and everything with that, but if you try to put 2 in, which you can't fit your project in, unlike the normal small box bags or small wedge bags. So they will be priced accordingly, a little bit down. And that's the same with the other small puppy dog bag. And then this is back to small bags, normal size. Teal roses with cats. DC women, there will be 1 small box bag. Victorian ladies in the bare trees. Haunted, I guess. I'm changing the name every time I show those, so. Gaudy dogs, which I just realized I don't have in a large box version, so if you want it, let me know. I will take custom orders. That's just one that apparently I missed. I have to admit this is still one of my favorite prints this time, the fairy tales. I'm pretty sure I almost got Beauty and the Beast on every single one of those bags in the right direction. Small knit stitch bags. Now these all have different colored zippers, so there's yellow, pink and green. And then there's actually green and green. And yellow and blue. So basically you have your pick. There's a few different choices for that one. There's 2 of the yellow and blue, 2 of the yellow and yellow, 2 of the green and green, and 2 of the green and pink. And then there are Black Cat in Paris. And they have coordinating polka dot handles, all 4 of them. 3 with red zippers, 1 with the black zipper. 1 Halloween bag, Pumpkin King, and this one has the sparkly pull tabs. 1 beige doily with black cat, pink zipper to pick up the little bit of pink in it, along with a multicolored stripe pole. One small of the Canadian provinces camping. And the final one that I can show you right now, pink doilies with black cats. Now, that's pretty much everything. I have about 4 more bags to sew in my room right now, but it'll be done. And then there's snaps to install onto the needle stashes, which are the ones I showed you in the basket. But otherwise, yeah, if you haven't seen my shop recently, there will be lots of, like, everything's coming out of there. The shop is currently on vacation up until November 15th because I go straight from Knit City to home, do all my cutting, and then I'm actually out at Rhinebeck. So I won't.
Not selling.
I am not selling there. No, I'm just going as a visitor. I am already going to be overwhelmed. I can't imagine selling there too, especially with how I've heard this. Everything goes with Vancouver. I'm already stressed out enough about it. But yes, so I'll be at Knit City. Make sure to come by and say hi. I would really appreciate it. Let me know if you watched the podcast or how you found out about me and everything like that. There is a vendor map on knitsocial.ca. I am booth number 43. So you go in the main entrance and then I'm to the right towards the concession, right beside Sweet Fiber, which is bad for the budget probably. But she's got gorgeous stuff too. And there's lots of other really great vendors that are right across from me and all around that hall. So definitely worth checking out even if you're not there for my bags in particular. If you're at Rhinebeck, let me know on the Ravelry thread if I should come over and do the podcast or meetup or anything like that. I would love to meet you all there too. And then if you're in the Calgary or Southern Alberta area, November 7th is the Calgary Fiber Arts Fair, and I will make sure to do another recording before that show to show you what will be coming to that one as well. It will not be to the volume of this one, but there will be new prints that I just haven't gotten a chance to get into the rotation yet because I've been focusing on these bags obviously. Anyway, I will see you guys probably not in a couple of weeks. Watch out on Instagram and all the social media forums, including Ravelry, for when I'm recording next because I can't quite say when it's going to happen. If I don't chat with you before the second weekend in October, I wish all my Canadian viewers a happy Thanksgiving, and I will talk to you all soon. Thanks so much and have an awesome weekend and a good few weeks. Bye.